Boom! What is up, Waves Capital? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about what is currently my favorite stock in the entire market, and a stock that I believe is pretty much destined for significantly more upside over the month of August, especially following this amazing earnings report, which we will cover. And that is, as you already know, Matterport. So once again, we will take a look over their Q2 earnings. We will take a look at the fact that this stock is up, if this will freaking load, that the stock is up following this earnings report, almost 17% in after hours trading. And then of course, we will dive into trading view, and I want to talk to you guys about where I see this stock going in terms of price and just general momentum over the remainder of the month and moving through the rest of the year. Okay, so that's the breakdown of the video. Before we get into any of that, I do want to read the piece I wrote on Matterport right after they released their earnings in this morning's Price Targets newsletter, and then we'll jump into everything else. Okay, so Matterport, we've believed for quite a while that Matterport would deliver on their Q2 earnings report, and we were absolutely right. They beat on EPS and raised their revenue guidance significantly. MTTR has climbed as much as 18% in after hours trading, once again currently up about 16.5%, but as much as 18% in after hours, and it's highly likely that our call options will be going absolutely ballistic tomorrow. So let me know in the comments down below, are you guys part of Waves Cap? Are you guys part of the newsletter portfolio group? And have you, I pray to God, bagged up on Matterport calls before this earnings call? Because, I mean, again, tomorrow, don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but tomorrow should be pretty nuts, okay? Especially considering overall market momentum leans so bullish. Disney also reported after hours today. Disney's up. The S&P is in breakout mode. And right now, it's really tough to make a bear argument, okay? That's not entirely speculative. So when the markets are bullish, I mean, again, you guys, large caps are bullish, small caps are hyper bullish, okay? And that's just the nature of kind of this market right now. Also planning on recording a video talking about small caps, market momentum, how long the overall rally will last, so stay tuned for that as well. Anyway, back to Matterport. I never like to be one to celebrate early, but in my mind, we have this one locked in. If you stood your ground through the recent volatility and held on to these calls, then the profits are well deserved. This is a massive win for Waves Capital. Cheers, team. So another win in the books, you guys. Again, SoFi crushed it for us recently, and now Matterport is on absolute fire. Before we jump into this, you guys, quick plug, but a plug that I have zero shame in plugging because we have been just doing so well over the month of August. The month of August has been the best month of not only my career, but of course for the Waves Capital portfolio as well, as a matter of that. And I'm just really excited to see what the rest of the month has in store for all of you guys who are part of the team. So if you do want to join the team, if you are not yet subscribed, that's the first link down below. Of course, complete portfolio, complete breakdown of my entire portfolio, along with the multiple daily newsletters I write, rationalizing the trades I've made, and just explaining why I'm taking the actions that I am taking on that given day in the portfolio. And yeah, I mean, 15 bucks a month, 40 bucks for every 3 months. You guys have heard this plenty of times, but I'm just, again, very, very stoked, very grateful that so many of the theories that we've had over recent weeks, over recent months even, are finally coming to fruition. And again, we've just played our cards so right. So again, if you choose to join, welcome to the winning team. If you have been part of the fam, then I'm glad you've been riding with me. And again, these profits have taken some time to come, but they are well deserved. And again, if you have been able to weather the storm through the first half of 2022, then you deserve to be here and you deserve all the profits to come. So cheers to that, you guys. And again, if you want to join the winning team, first link down below. Let's get into some of Matterport's earnings, because once again, this stock absolutely ripped after hours. We'd love to see it. So Matterport, August 10th, second quarter 2022 earnings. Disclaimers, no need to read those ever. Recent business highlights. Q2 subscription revenue up 20% year over year. better than guidance. Non-GAAP loss per share of 12 cents, better than guidance as well. I think the estimate was negative 14 or negative 15 cents, I think. Continued focus on enterprise customers as the company enhances overall enterprise platform capabilities. Acquired VHT Studios to accelerate adoption of digital twins for real estate. $562 million cash and investments and no debt. Exited Q2 with record-breaking backlog. Record product backlog, I'm sorry. So, all great stuff here, you guys. That is, I believe, their new gimbal product, which is amazing. I actually just got a DJI Ronin pretty recently, so I imagine it's similar to that. And, I imagine Matterport will use it for far more industrial products. Like gimbals, typically, as of right now, are meant for cinematographers and whatnot. But as you guys know, Matterport, there is a lot of commercial use. And, of course, that demographic, that target audience that they have, there's a lot more money moving around than there is in just kind of the freelance cinema space, right? Okay, so Matterport is the clear market leader in an expanding global market, and these are very impressive. So 114 mil in run rate revenue, 24 billion square feet captured in 177 countries. And this is impressive, you guys. These growth metrics are initially why I loved Matterport in the first place. When we started talking about them, well over half a year ago, like maybe late 2021, we started talking about Matterport. And that's what keeps me going. And that's what made me extremely bullish and led me to establish massive call options. I'll just say they're October 21st, $6 call options. I'll give you guys that. So take a look at what those things do tomorrow, and you'll know what the Waves Capital portfolio is looking like, okay? So, again, these growth metrics are so impressive. Subscribers in the thousands. You can see just looking at these years. Paid subscribers went from 404,000 to 616,000 year over year. That is 52% growth. Spaces under management, 100x the rest of the market. So in second quarter of 2021, they're at 5.6 million. 5.6 mil. And as of right now, they're at 8 million. So that's some very, very impressive growth right there as well. It's almost, close to 50% growth. This is amazing. And Matterport is also on a path to profitability. Their revenue is amazing for a company with a market cap of $1.5 billion. The fact that they're seeing this much revenue is very, very promising for a company that's this young and this revolutionary, okay? Vuzix is another name that we've covered a lot on the channel. They announced earnings yesterday at the time of recording, and they popped 16% on that news. But I explained this in this morning's newsletter as well. And I'll just read it because it's right here. So, I still believe in Vuzix for the long term, but after looking at their report, it's pretty difficult for me to justify their market cap of $500 million with quarterly revenue of only $3 million and only 3% year-over-year growth. Okay, so Matterport year over year is seeing, and I don't want to talk down on Vuzix. Again, I'm holding Vuzix stock for full transparency as a disclaimer, right? But the fact that Matterport is seeing year over year growth in subscribers of 52%, probably should have brought up a full report, but we can take a look at this again. Their EPS, actual EPS -12 versus -14, so I like a 13% prize right there. Let's go to their quarterly revenue. I don't think they updated it just now, but anyway, point is, you guys, Matterport year over year is doing insanely well. Quarter over quarter, they're growing, and so the most important part of you know what, you guys. Let's just freaking pull this up. I'm sorry I didn't do this. I thought, and I know it's probably in here somewhere, but I don't really want to scroll down. So we'll just go to MTTR. You guys are doing some DD on the fly with me. MTTR earnings, okay? So Matterport earnings, just go to news. We can just go to a quick 4 hours ago. This is it right here. So Matterport second quarter results. Subscription revenue rose 20% year over year. Services revenue increased 74% year over year. That's amazing. Matterport increases full year revenue guidance to 132 million to 138 million. Narrows full year guidance range. GAAP losses 44 cents, 46 cents to 50 cents. Scuffing this. Balance sheet remains strong. 562 mil with cash on hand. Okay, strong quarter. You guys can read all this for yourself if you'd like to pause it. But to sum this up, you guys, Matterport, their growth metrics are insane. They did erase their full year revenue guidance. They are still not profitable, but I mean that's just kind of the story. That's just what you sign up for when you're part of revolutionary companies like this that are on the conquest for rapid growth. And yeah, I loved everything I saw in those reports. And I'm very excited for what the future has in store for Matterport. And it's very evident that, I don't know why this keeps freezing. It's very evident that other investors are as well, because once again, the stock is being rewarded heavily in after hours following a gain of nearly 10% in the normal trading day. Okay, so all that said, sorry that was a bit scuffed, you guys, but I'm just excited. I hope you are as well. Let's take a look at some price targets and call it a day. Okay, so Matterport. Just be straight. This red line right here that I painted is where Matterport is currently sitting in after hours. Just a little above that, 605. And yeah, this is just $6. So we'll go from there. Matterport is currently in an area, because again, we're sitting right here, is in an area where there is very little historical support or resistance. Okay. So given the momentum of the overall markets, given my bullish sentiment on the markets as a whole, and especially growth stocks, and the fact that Matterport just ripped in after hours, and investors are feeling very, very excited and very optimistic about it. I think it's very likely that Matterport sees more upside tomorrow. I think the markets as a whole, I think the S&P, the NASDAQ are going to see upside tomorrow. Therefore, I think Matterport will as well. I do think that Matterport will make its way up to the bottom end of my target range, in which my first target is going to be $6.50, because this has acted as somewhat of a floor for Matterport in the past. Again, you guys, we've seen such a massive sell-off. Let's zoom out. This might look a little crazy. Matterport has seen such a massive sell-off from the highs that we saw in November of 2021. Like from the high to the low that Matterport saw, it was a 90% correction. So again, you guys, 50, 60, 70, even 80%. Pretty common in many of the names that we talk about here on the channel. 90% is rare. And granted, Matterport did get extremely overextended in the hype of the metaverse and during October, November, and that crazy rally that we saw surrounding the metaverse and whatnot. But it got super oversold too. Again, like we've been saying so often, reversion to the mean is necessary. This doesn't make sense. These levels up here make no sense. But where we've been floating at for the past couple of months, again, Matterport has been a sleeping giant, and that's what I've called it in the newsletter so many times, is the sleeping giant. Like Matterport has been going sideways. Matterport has been struggling to find its footing over recent months, and that's what's made me more bullish on it. Because we saw their recent earnings reports. Their CEO is very confident in the year ahead. Their earnings, their growth continues to be strong. And they're in a very, very young and revolutionary sector. And again, growth stocks overall got irrationally oversold. Matterport got even more irrationally oversold than many growth stocks. And that thankfully gave us the opportunity, and hopefully you guys as well, again, let me know if you're going to be eating good with me tomorrow, to establish call positions on the stock. So again, my target range here is just simply this range, because this is the area that looks just straight up eyeballing you guys. Again, areas that have historically acted as ceilings and floors will act as such again. My first target for Matterport is $6.50. The range is from $6.50 to $7-ish. Again, you guys give or take a few cents, whatever. And that is due to the fact that, again, this acts as a nice little ceiling for Matterport in the past. This is the bottom end of this gap. And I will say that I do think this area, also a very clean copy paste, this area right here will also, in the case that Matterport is able to break above $7, which I think is very, very possible. I think Matterport can get to double digits potentially by the end of the year. In the case that Matterport does break $7, I think we could see like 70 on the horizon, because this gap does still, in my opinion, is still in play, and this will be filled completely to complete this bounce. Okay, and it's still setting in a lower high, and I do think higher highs are on the horizon. Do I think we can see $37 again anytime this year? Absolutely not. I think that makes no sense. I think that would be incredibly whack, honestly, if we saw that. So I hope that market environment doesn't come back. But do I think we can see significantly more reversion to the mean? Do I think we can come up to 7, 8, hey, maybe even like $10 around the area where Matterport IPO'd? I absolutely do. And I will be holding many of my calls until we do see these levels. So stay tuned, you guys. If you are part of the newsletter portfolio group, I will, of course, keep you posted on my profit-taking process through that. And if you're not and you want to join, again, first link down below. I'll see you guys on the inside. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, team.